have a wonderful opportunity to have the United States Surgeon General on, Dr. Jerome Adams. If you want to call, if you have any questions, you can call 866-9-RICKEY, 866-9-RICKEY. Call right now, and if anybody have not seen Dr. Jerome Adams, he's the gentleman in uniform standing next to the President of the United States. And he is the Vice Admiral. Dr. Jerome M. Adams is the 20th Surgeon General of the United States, overseeing operations of more than 6,500 uniformed health officers. And you've seen him on television a few times during the press conference with the President, a board certified. Just everything. The list goes on and on and on. Like I could read this whole resume. We just happy to have you on this morning. Dr. Jerome, good morning.
Good morning. I'm glad to be here. And first of all, make sure you remind me never to make Eva mad. Oh, my goodness.
I'm not quick to anger, Doc, I promise.
Hey, she did.
I was with you. I feel your frustration because there's a whole lot of haters out there. And one of the things that you didn't say to folks because they can't see it on the radio is I'm not just the man in uniform standing next to the president. I'm the black man standing in uniform next to the president. Absolutely. And we really, it makes me proud to see you standing up there, sir. And it's an honor to have you on. So let's go. I guess the first question that I have is social distancing starting to make a difference? Absolutely, we believe it's starting to make a difference, and I'll give you proof. When you look at Italy, their numbers are starting to go down, and they were the hardest hit. China and South Korea are starting to reopen their economy, and all these are timed 3 to 4 weeks after they really started to aggressively lean into social distancing, and people got off the beaches and stopped playing basketball and stayed at home. And when you look at Washington, when you look at even New York, they started to level off based on their social distancing measures being enacted. And so that's why we put out our 30 days to stop the spread recommendation starting yesterday through the end of April, because we can talk about supply, we can talk about treatment, and all those things are important. But the most important thing that you can do to prevent the spread of coronavirus is not to be around somebody else who's going to give you coronavirus. Stay at home.
Right.
So, Doc, how long do you believe that it will take to significantly flatten the curve and get life back to normal? Like, seriously, because the numbers are crazy and no one really feels like they know.
Well, to be honest with you, it depends, and here's what it depends on. It depends on how much the community actually cooperates. And so when you look at, again, the institution of real aggressive shelter-in-place social distancing, it's usually about 3 to 4 weeks before we see that curve start to flatten off. Some places are a little earlier because they instituted earlier. In California, if you all remember, they had cruise ship after cruise ship coming in and dropping people off. They had a real potential to blow up in the beginning, and they instituted shelter in place early, and we're seeing their numbers level off. So it shows that it can work. It shows there is a light at the end of this tunnel if people cooperate.
Right. So now, why are there mixed messages about wearing masks or some type of covering of the nose and mouth? When we have to go outside.
Well, thank you for that, because it is a nuanced issue. We being the World Health Organization, the CDC, and my office, all originally recommended against the general public wearing masks because there was very little evidence that suggested they actually protect the wearer from getting coronavirus. And if you wear a mask improperly, you touch your face, you can actually introduce coronavirus to yourself. Now, what we've learned, and we've always said, we're going to follow the data. We're going to change our recommendations based on the data. This is a new virus. We've learned that people are asymptomatically spreading the disease, meaning people who aren't sick can actually go out and spread the disease. And so we have the CDC now looking into whether or not we want to recommend that people wear masks, not to protect themselves, but to protect other people when they go out. But the most important thing is we don't want people to feel like, hey, I've got a face covering on, I can go out and act a fool and be around other people, because the most important thing you can still do is stay at home. The other important thing that people need to understand is when I put out my recommendation that people not wear masks, people were buying up the N95 masks that healthcare workers use. Those, we don't want the general public using those because you have to get them fit tested to wear them properly. And if you take them from a healthcare worker, they're not going to be around to take care of you or your nana or your granny when they actually get sick.
Right. Hey, listen, if you have, we are so honored to have you on this morning. We have the Surgeon General, Dr. Jerome Adams, on with us this morning. If you have any questions, you can call right now, 866-9-RICKEY, 866-9-RICKEY. We'll be taking your phone calls. Coming up next, Rickey Smiley Morning Show.